Hi everybody. In order to speed this up a little bit, I put all the windows in my model. Just to review very quickly, in this particular area, I have the face reversed to white so that I can know where I'm putting my window. I have the 8-foot line measured with the guideline, and I pulled another guideline down to 5 feet because I'm going to put a 3-foot by 5-foot window in this space. I then took the pencil tool and I drew a cross, zooming in, clicking once here in the corner and then clicking again in the other corner at the bottom at the 5-foot mark. And now what you can see is I've cut that space to make the rectangle where I want to put my window. I'm push and pull that now, and you can see I have it selected. It's got kind of the light blue selected. I'm going to start to push in, and then I'm going to type in 6 inches, which is the thickness of our wall. And it may not go in all the way. So if that happens, just select that surface again and click delete. There you have your hole. Back here, I have my 5-foot window right here, and you can see some other things in here as well. I'm going to select it, make a copy of it by clicking the Move tool, holding the Option key down, and then bringing that window over to where I want to place it. I'm going to zoom above it because, as you can see, it's not angled correctly, so I have to fix that. To do that, I'm going to click the Rotate tool. I'm going to let it snap onto the blue axis, and I'm going to click to start it, pull out along the red axis or the green axis depending on which way you're doing it. I'm going to click again to anchor it. Then I'm going to turn it, look to see if it snaps in the correct direction or not. If it doesn't, I can just type in 90 and click enter. And I apologize, you're probably not seeing that, but in the lower right hand corner here you can see the 90 degrees, so that I now know that it's parallel to my building surface. Zoom in a little bit, grab that Move tool. Remember that when you want to move something, you want to avoid grabbing along the surface, and you want to grab the corner, because then you can align it with the corner of where you're planning on placing it. This particular window, you might notice that it's sticking out a little bit here in the back. The reason is that when I made this window, I deliberately made it a little bit wider than the wall so that I would have a little bit of protrusion kind of idea of having a molding around the window. So I'm just going to grab that and I'm going to start to push that in just a little bit. I designed it so that it would be 1 inch on either side. After I start moving it, I'm going to type in 1 inch, shift quotes. Now you can see that it's also protruding on the other side. Then I'm going to deselect it because I'm done with that. Now I'm going to reverse those faces back to the gray. I'm going to select the surface. I'm going to right click or hold the Option key, and I'm going to say reverse face, and I'm going to do it again down here. You'll notice that you still have the areas where you marked on the floor plan where the window was. So now I have to go through and I want to take my eraser tool and I just want to clean all that up. And then eventually I'm also going to erase all of my guideline. And you can do that just like that. Remember that if you use View and you turn off the guides, it might also happen that when you go to draw a guide, it won't show up. So if I try to draw a guide now, you'll notice it just keeps disappearing, but that's because you have the View guides off. If you really want to get rid of the guides, you can go to Edit and you can say Delete Guides, but be very careful with that because maybe you have some guides you want to use or still use. We'll come back in a few minutes once I've cleaned everything up.